Hi everyone, this is gonna be my video showcasing my Kingdom Cup tournament, how it went. First, I'm gonna show my team, the team I chose. So, Steelix is the first member with Crunch and Earthquake, and then Lapras with Water Gun, not Ice Shard, and then Lucario with Counter, Power Punch, and Shadow Ball, very important in this meta, counters a lot of things. Altaria, very good as well, very offensive, Dragon Breath, Dragon Pulse, and Sky Attack. King, no, I did not choose Kingdra. Then Alolan Marowak, Hex, Bone Club, and Shadow Ball. Counters Lucario very well and a few others. And the last member of my team, which I had some doubts over, but I chose Frostlass. Power Snow, Avalanche, and Shadow Ball. Let's go to the matches. Let's begin, shall we? The first match of my tournament against Super Big Max, and as you can see, his team is Charizard, Lucario, Lapras, Dragonair, Flygon, and Steelix. So that's two dragons. So I decided to go with Frostlass in the first match, just to see if he uses his two dragons. Okay, but I'm leading with Lucario and against Lapras. So it is a decently favorable matchup. I can set up Power Up Punch. He decides to not shield it. So I have one boost active, and now I want to shield Lucario because I want to obviously keep it alive, because the Surf will most likely take down most of my health or take me down. So now his Lapras is down because obviously Lucario does a lot of damage, and now I'm expecting something to counter my Lucario. It's Charizard, and I swap in Altaria because I want to keep Lucario for later. And Altaria can handle Charizard well. It can take maybe 2 Dragon Claws or maybe 1. I am not really sure because I've not practiced this matchup so much, but I shielded just in case. And now I'm going for the Sky Attack, applying some pressure here, which he will shield because otherwise he's dead there. So now I'm just trying to do a lot of Dragon Breath damage, and now my shields are gone, so it's just I have to hope my Altaria tanks this. And okay, so it was better than my estimate. It could tank it and have quite a bit of HP left, but now my Altaria is most likely dead because this Dragon Claw will take me out. Yes, Altaria is dead. The advantage is his Charizard is almost dead, and now I can bring in a full health Frostlass to get a couple of Powder Snows off. Well, only one in this case. And okay, so he sends Lucario, which is a sort of favorable matchup for me, although he could fully charge up Shadow Ball and finish my Frostlass in one hit. But I'm just applying some pressure. Now his Lucario has no shields, and we know what happens to a shieldless Lucario. It's a dead Lucario, but let's see how that goes. So, okay, he has used up his first energy on a power-up punch, and now what I'm doing is I'm just bringing back my Lucario in just to get 2-3 hits off, and my Lucario was boosted, remember. So with those 2-3 hits, I brought his Lucario down by quite a bit. I reduced it by like 40% or something. Now his shield is gone. I bring Frostlass back with almost fully charged Avalanche and finish him off. So that's a victory for me. He had no chance for a Shadow Ball. Okay, next match. So I am now 1-0 up, and if I win this, then I go to the next round. So this time, let's see what I lead with. Let's see what he leads with. I'll decide to lead with Lapras, and he leads with Dragonair, which is not a favorable matchup for me because my Lapras has Water Gun. So I kind of know that, see, I'm losing more damage than he is. So I'm just swapping out to Altaria just to save my Lapras for later and to try to reduce his Dragonair's health as much as possible. Now I'm just expecting him to bait with an Aqua Tail, but he went for Dragon Pulse, and there's my Altaria gone. Okay, now I don't want to get Lapras back in, so I'm bringing Marowak in. And Hex is doing some decent neutral damage, and I'm just going to try to burn his shield or try to take him down with a Bone Club. Okay, he burns a shield, so that's good for me. And now he will most likely go for Aqua Tail, and I'm going to shield because I don't want to lose my Marowak now. I should have, after this I has to have one shield up, so that's good. So now my Marowak should finish his Dragonair, unless he decides to shield again. Well, he does not shield. Okay, which means he probably has a Lucario on the back, or not. He brings a Charizard now, which is a decent matchup for me because I resist his fast moves. So now I'm going for Shadow Ball. He will probably shield this, and he does not. So that's an easy KO for me, actually. So Charizard out of the way, and now I'm 2-1 up in this matchup, and there's Lucario. Lucario has just one shield left. So now I'm going for Bone Club to apply some pressure to take his shield off. and he will most likely shield it. And here is where I do a smart maneuver. I swap in Lapras, which has a surf almost ready. His shield is down, and now my surf is ready. I'm just gonna hit him with a surf, which is guaranteed damage there. And he's gonna hit me with a power punch, but I have a shield ready for that. And my Lapras has still enough health to survive a few fast moves. So it's my Lapras with a few water gun, and his Lucario's down. So that's a victory for me. Okay, next match is against Charmillionairz. I don't know if I pronounced that right. And he has a Bastiodon and a Bronzong, which I've not faced yet. So let's see. I'm going to lead with Lucario, and he leads with Bronzong. Bronzong is a very good lead, by the way. And against Lucario as well, it's a fairly favorable matchup for Bronzong. So I'm going to just use a power-up punch here, and I'm going to swap out. That's my plan. To just get one boost on Lucario and to save it for later. So I use a power-up punch, and he shields it. So that's one shield of his down. And now I'm going to swap to Steelix, which is a favorable matchup for me. So knowing that, he's going to definitely swap, and he does. So he swaps to Lucario, which is a Steelix counter. And now I have, as you can see, Crunch and Earthquake charged up. He realizes that, he thinks I'm going for Earthquake, but I'm bluffing him. I'm just going for the Crunch. So he wastes his shield there. So he's down 2 shields now. And now I do not shield here because I don't want his Lucario to use my Steelix as something to charge up a lot on. If you understand what I mean. I don't want him to use a lot of power punches on my Steelix, and then he sweeps my team basically. So now my Steelix is down. I bring in Altaria, and now I just want to build some energy using his Lucario. I'm expecting a Shadow Ball here, which is why I shield, but he goes for the power punch. So that was a bit of a shield wasted from me, but still I managed to get a Sky Attack off here. Actually, I am almost ready to fire a Sky Attack. Now again, I'm taking a shield. I'm using a shield because I'm expecting a Shadow Ball, but he uses power punch. And here, this is a slight mistake from me to use a Sky Attack. This is a bit of a wasted Sky Attack. As you can see, his Lucario is almost dead. I could have just used a Dragon Breath or 2 and finished him off. So now it's my Altaria versus his Altaria, and he has the advantage here because of health. And because we both are down 2 shields, and I have a near dead Lucario at the back, which Lucario doesn't do well against Altaria, we know, unless there's a big health disparity. And as you can see, I swapped here just to waste his charge move because I did not have a shield. I just wanted to sacrifice Lucario, but it did not pay off in the end. So that's one loss for me. So now if I have to win, I have to make a comeback by winning the next 2 games. So next match, let's see what happens. I decide to lead with Lapras, and he leads with Bastiodon. So this is an okayish matchup because my Lapras is Water Gun and Surf, so I still deal super effective damage, but he also deals super effective damage to me. So now I'm going to use Surf here and see if he shields. But Bastiodon is so tanky that it does not have to shield, and there you see, it still does not lose so much health. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save Lapras for later. I'm going to start building up Lucario's energy. And you can see how much damage Lucario is doing. I was wondering why he did not use a charge move. Maybe he did not have flamethrower. Maybe he was too late. So his Bastiodon's out. Now I'm going to use a power-up punch. And he will have to shield this. He does. Now my Lucario is as good as dead. But in the process, I wound his Lucario so bad that I can use my Altaria to set up on him. Set up as in a couple of Dragon Breaths and it's dead. His Lucario couldn't even do much. His Lucario couldn't even use a power punch. So that's it. It's now I am 2 up on him against only his Marowak and 2 shields as well. So now this should be a straightforward win for me. And yeah, that's how it's progressing. So Altaria beats Marowak. And I choose to not shield here because I have a Lapras at the back with Surf ready. So even if Altaria is dead here, I can bring Lapras back. And he uses Fire Blast, which is kind of strange for Marowak. It's not the recommended move. Anyway, so I use a Sky Attack to finish off his Marowak. And now it's 1-1. I win this match. So we go to the next match. The next match I decided to lead with Lapras again, because the Lapras lead paid off in the previous match, and I'm expecting him to lead with Bronzong. And Lapras Water Gun Surf does decent against Bronzong. And I predict the lead right. He leads with Bronzong. Although Bronzong does do a fair amount of damage with Confusion and Heavy Slam does neutral damage to Lapras, Confusion takes an awful lot of time to charge up. So until he hits Heavy Slam, I have a Surf ready, so I can deal some Surf damage. And Lapras versus Bronzong is an interesting matchup. So he did not shield, so I'm trying to copy him here. I'm trying to also not shield. I'm gonna see how much Heavy Slam does. Yes, I can tank that fairly well. So now he's gonna swap out. He swapped out first, so I can lock his Lucario down here. So now I'm gonna swap my Altaria in, and there's a favorable matchup for me. So his Lucario is locked in, and now I'm gonna shield this. It was a Shadow Ball that came pretty fast, so it was a good decision to shield. And now Sky Attack, which will burn his shield, because if he does not shield, his Lucario is dead. And he decides to shield. And once again, we come to, well, he does have one shield left. Okay, I thought it was two shields down, but he has one shield left. And now I decide to shield again, expecting another Shadow Ball, but I miscalculated. That was just a Power Punch. I could have saved my shield. But his Lucario is dead here, as you can see. So now I have a Sky Attack ready for whatever comes in next. What is it gonna be? It's another Altaria. Okay, but I deal a Sky Attack and I blow his shield down. And if you noticed, I have Steelix in the back. So again, I think I have this match in the bag because Steelix does well against both Altaria and Bronzong. So now I just somehow managed to get a Sky Attack off before dying. That was really close. So that's some good damage. So now I can use my Steelix to do a few Dragon Tails to feint his Altaria down, and just use those Dragon Tails to sort of farm up energy for my Crunch. So yeah, I can tank with Steelix. Steelix does really well against Altaria. So there you can see my Crunch is almost charged up for his Bronzong, and this is an easy win for me just with the Crunch damage. So that was decently played, and I win 2-1. On to the next round. So the next round I'm playing against XTUV, and his team is almost the same as mine. Well, except for two differences. He's also using Bronzong and he uses Blaziken. And Blaziken and Lucario can be a very strong fighting combination. Let's see how he uses it. I lead with Lapras again, expecting him to lead Bronzong, and he does. Once again, Water Gun Lapras versus Confusion Bronzong. Let's see if it goes the same way as the previous match. So I use a Surf and he opts to shield it. So will I shield this? Let's see. So I decide to not shield it. Yes, I decided to tank it because Lapras is again very tanky, so I can save this for later. So I'm just gonna farm up energy for a Surf. Okay, I do not save it for later. I just hit him with another Surf, and this time he does not shield it. So his Bronzong is down to really low health. So now we're just hitting each other with the fast moves to see who kills each other, who kills one the first. So now my Lapras is down, but this is an advantage for me. I died first, so I could bring in my Altaria, and I could use one fast move to kill his Bronzong. So I have a little bit of an advantage over his Altaria, where I can get a fast move first. But instead of using my Altaria, I just swap in a Steelix. I just swap in my Steelix, just predicting a Sky Attack, and that was a very well timed swap. I swapped just to tank it to save a shield, and now he brings in Blaziken, so that counters me well. But now I'm just gonna bluff him. I'm just gonna go for the Crunch to burn his shield, and Blaziken is still glassy. Blaziken does well here, and he fell for the trap. He used a shield. Now I'm just not gonna bother shielding. My Steelix is almost dead, so I'm not even gonna bother shielding here. Now I bring back Altaria here, and I still have two shields left. I have a Sky Attack ready. Here I did not have to use a Sky Attack because he just used a charge move, so I could have just farmed up some energy on his Blaziken, but I decided to use it anyway to finish his Blaziken. And you can see this is going to be really tight, and I win the charge move priority. Look at the health on me. It's so little. It's so close. We actually laughed at the end of this match, and he was like, that would have been funny if I had won with you having two shields left. So yeah, that was really close. That was an extremely close match. So anyway, some smart swapping did pay off for me. Let's go to the next match. If I win this one, I go to the last round. So let's see how it goes. And this time I decided to lead with Lucario, very offensive lead, and he leads with Bronzong. So This is not the greatest of matchups, but once again, same plan for me. I decide to charge a power up punch up and then swap out Lucario. So let's see how that goes. I use a power up punch and he decides to not shield it. So he lost quite a bit of health. And now I swap to Altaria, which is again not a fav. Okay, sorry, I swapped to Lapras. And now I'm not shielding it because I can tank a heavy slam. I'm just gonna use whatever little health of his Bronzong left to farm up energy. And now I have a Surf ready for whatever comes in. I'm expecting a Lucario because he wants to use my Lucario to my Lapras to farm. Okay, he has Blaziken. Yes, okay, uses Blaziken. And with Water Gun I can do a fair amount of damage. Now he's gonna shield because obviously Surf will kill him. So I'm just gonna do quite a bit of damage with Water Gun, as you can see. I'm so glad I took Water Gun Lapras in the end. And my Lapras is down, but Altaria vs Blaziken, this is a good matchup for me. I'm gonna shield here because Brave Bird, neutral damage. I don't want to take damage here. So now I'm just gonna farm up energy on him using my Altaria, and he swaps out. That's a good swap, but he's gonna get hit with a charge move, Sky Attack, and he decides to not shield again. Lapras is tanky; it can take a Sky Attack. So now he's most likely gonna use an Ice Beam. So I decide to shield, but it's Surf. So that was a shield wasted from me, but still fine. I'm gonna again farm up energy on him. And this time I swapped to Lucario because I just want to get a little bit of damage off. And now I have Power Punch ready for Blaziken. Now I'm going to blow his shield. Lucario comes in. Lucario does just 2-3 hits of damage, blows his shield and goes out. Now back to Altaria with a ready charge move, which it doesn't even have to use, and game over. So that was again some decent swapping strategy executed and worked very well. So on to the next round. Now it's the final round. It's me against Dykes89, who also won 3 matches, and his team has Flygon. He does not have Altaria like me. He has Flygon, Charizard, Bronzong, Marowak. So this has got quite a bit of not so meta Pokemon. So let's see. I lead with Lapras. He leads with Lucario. It's not such a favorite matchup for me because he can use me to farm energy and farm Power Up Punch. So now I just predict the Power Up Punch and I swap in Altaria at the right moment, and that works out. I can save his shield, I can save my Lapras. So he swaps out as well to Bronzong. Favorable matchup for him. So now my Altaria is pretty much not gonna do well here, so I'm just gonna do as much damage as possible with Sky Attacks and maybe burn a shield, but Bronzong is tanky. It's Steel type, so it can take a beating. And now I'm just deciding to not shield here because I'll just get back with Lapras and try to farm energy. That's my plan at this point. So Altaria's down. I'm just gonna bring in Lapras, and I'm just gonna try to Water Gun spam him and use a Surf here to either try to burn his shield or to finish his Bronzong off. Let's see what he does. He decides to shield. Okay, so again I'm gonna use Water Gun to farm energy, but first a charge move, and I'm gonna shield here because his Heavy Slam is most likely gonna finish me off. So I want to farm up energy. I want to get a Surf ready for whatever comes in next, or Ice Beam. Okay, Surf's ready. What's he gonna send out next? He sends out Lucario. Okay, so that's good. I charged up Surf. He has to shield now. Yes, and now Lucario is shieldless, although the problem is I do not have a Lucario counter in the back. I have Steelix, which is weak to Lucario, and I have one shield left, but he just has to use fast moves to finish me off. That's how good Lucario is. And I'm gonna shield this because it's a Power Up Punch, but at this point the match is kind of a lost cause for me. So let's see. Well, I kind of messed up here. I could have clicked Earthquake really quick and finished him off, but I went for Crunch. So that was a minor mistake on my part. I think I was a bit rushed here. So as you can see, the Crunch almost finished him off. If I'd used Earthquake, this would have been a win for me. Or not. He had a Bronzong in the back, so... or he had one more Pokemon in the back, so yeah, that wouldn't have worked for me. Anyway, so I'm 1-0 down. I have to win the next 2 matches. Will I? Let's see. So this time I'll lead with Altaria, and he leads with Lapras. I'm guessing it's a Water Gun Lapras. It is. It's a Water Gun Lapras, and I'm doing a fair amount of damage, and he's not doing so much damage to me, but he can charge up Ice Beam. But before that, I want to hit him with a sky attack. So let's see if he shields. He does shield. Okay, so he shields it, and now I'm gonna shield as well, expecting an ice beam, but he goes for surf. It's probably a good bait. So that's one shield down for both of us. Now I'm gonna charge up energy on Altaria and I'm gonna swap in Lucario. So Lucario will tank a surf here, which is half of its health gone, but still I can use Lapras now to farm up energy for my Lucario. So whatever comes in next will get hit with a power punch. Hopefully take super effective damage. Let's see. It's a Flygon. Neutral damage, but still fine. And he decides to not shield it. That's a lot of damage. So now Flygon's gonna finish me off because Mud Shot is super effective against me. So I'm just gonna do fast move damage as much as I can, and I still took out most of the Flygon, as you can see that. So now I'm gonna bring in Altaria and I'm gonna shield because Dragon Claw will likely take a lot of my health off. So I'm just gonna Mud Shot spam here. Sorry, he was gonna Mud Shot spam. I was gonna do Dragon Breath, and now he has Bronzong, and it's my Altaria versus, and I have a Marowak in the back. So this match is mostly in my favor. So I just have to kind of buy time here, and now I'm gonna just swap to Marowak to tank a Heavy Slam. I was just predicting that he would use a Heavy Slam now, and I did not want to get hit with my Altaria with it. I just wanted to tank it with Marowak. And now Marowak versus Bronzong is a favorable matchup for me. Even though he has one shield left, all I have to do is spam a couple of Bone Clubs. I'm just using a Shadow Ball here, but even my fast move does a fair amount of damage to him. So yeah, as you can see, and I have an Altaria in the back as well. I should be able to tank this. No, I do not. I faint. But Altaria is back, and all it needs is that one Sky Attack to finish his Bronzong off. So 1-1 in my favor. How's that in my favor? It's 1-1. It's level. So the Decider. Now this is where you will see I made a pretty fatal mistake. I could have won this match, but I did a pretty bad mistake. We'll see what I did. Okay, I lead with Altaria, and he leads with Lucario. This is favorable for me. So I'm gonna just Dragon Breath, and he realizes it's favorable for me, so he swaps out to Charizard. Now I just have to try to get a Sky Attack off, but Charizard charges up energy so fast for Dragon Claw. So I want to not get hit by Dragon Claw, so I'm shielding here. Now I'm gonna use a Sky Attack. No, I did not. I swap to Marowak because I want to save the Sky Attack for later. That's my plan at least. So now I'm gonna get a Bone Club off. Not until he gets a Charge Move off. So he's gonna get this Dragon Claw off. I can tank it. I knew that I would be able to tank it. So now I'm gonna try to burn his shield as well with Bone Club, and he blows his first shield. So we're both one shields down. Now I'm gonna try to get another Bone Club off, but again Charizard charges up Dragon Claw so fast. But he uses Blast Burn. That surprises me. So my Marowak is almost down, and he has a Lucario in the back. So my one Lucario counter is almost dead. His Charizard is down, but my Marowak is almost dead. So what's he gonna do now? He's bringing in Lucario. Now here's the mistake. This is a big mistake from me. I still don't know why I did this. What would a normal person do? Swap to Altaria, which has a Sky Attack ready. Now swap to Steelix. Why would you do that? Why did I do that? I still don't know. This is a stupid mistake. And I thought it was a power punch here, but he used Shadow Ball. In either case, it would have made no difference because Steelix would take a lot of damage. And there you see, Steelix is almost dead. Didn't even use a charge move. Now it's my one Altaria versus his Lucario. There's no point in burning his shield here, because he very likely has a Bronzong or a Flygon in the back, or even a Lapras, which will take me out. So this was kind of suicide, you can say, from my part. I just threw away the match with a horrible mistake. I should have swapped to Altaria, used the Sky Attack to burn his Lucario's shield. So now I finish his Lucario off, but what's gonna come out next? It's a Bronzong. Yep. And his Bronzong against my near dead Altaria. We know how that goes with no shields left. If I had one shield or maybe both shields up, at least it would have been a decent chance for me. But nope. I lost it because of a stupid mistake I made. Yeah, that happens. So that was the tournament for me. Unfortunately, I did not win it. I finished in second place, which is not bad for my first ever tournament. The fatal mistake in the last match kind of cost me. Otherwise, I think I did a fairly good job with a lot of smart maneuvers and swaps and stuff. And it's a good learning experience. I really enjoyed the tournament overall. And I like the Kingdom Cup format. So let me know what you think about this video. If you came this far, that is. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you next time.